So this is the last section of notes for Chapter 7. Chapter 7 is the last chapter we're doing this semester. So after the notes today, we won't take notes again until January. All right? So let's finish with a bang, okay? We are doing 7.5 today. It's all about the proportions. You guys, we've started. All right, this lesson is all about proportions and similar triangles. So there is a box in your notes. You can fill in all this information. This says if a line parallel to one side of a triangle intersects the other two sides, then it divides the two sides proportionally. So the last time we were writing proportions with similar triangles, we had two triangles. It's still two triangles technically. It's just sort of one built inside the other one. Okay? And we can still write those proportions, cross multiply, and solve. So the proportions that we can write, there's actually two different ways you can write this. So you could do the part over the part. So in this one, part over part, it would be like RT over TQ. So along the same side, part over part, RT over TQ, would be the same thing as RU over US. So part over part works. Or, the cool thing, part over whole works as well. So you could do the part over the whole thing equals the part over the whole thing. It kind of just depends what information was given to you. Sometimes one is easier than the other. So in example 1, we are supposed to find the value of x. So in this one, I think it's easier to do part over part because we don't know the length of this whole side. Okay? So I'm going to do part over part equals part over part. If you want to start with your x, you can. If you want to start with the 4 and the 8, you can. So I'm going to do top of this side over bottom of this side equals top of this side, bottom of this side. Part over part, part over part. And you have to go in the right order. You can't go like part, part, and then slide over. You know what I mean? You can't go top, bottom, bottom, top. You have to go top, bottom, top, bottom. Now you just cross multiply like we've been doing. So 4 times 12 equals 8 times x. Or 8 times x equals 4 times 12. That's 48. So what's your x going to equal? 6. What are your questions? For number 2, do you want to do part over whole or part over part?
Part over part.
Part over part. Same thing. We don't know the whole side over here. We could find the whole side over here pretty quickly, right? Just add them. But we don't know what the x is, so we'll end up with too many variables if we do part over whole. Okay? So I'm going to do part over part for both sides. So if I do 22 over x, what's the other proportion have to be? 20 over 10. Good. If you started down here and went up the side, you got to start and go same direction. Now we just cross multiply. What's 22 times 10? 220 equals 20x, or 20x equals 220.
299.
What do you get? Yep. What are your questions? Okay, number 3. Are you thinking part over part or part over whole? I would do part over whole because this whole side is 20. We don't know this part. You could do part over whole, but you'd have x's in 2 spots. That's just going to make it a little harder. Now, I don't know what this whole side is. It's 12. How'd you get 12? Yeah, so you might have to do a little bit of extra work on one of the sides just so that you have the same information. So yes, once you add these, now you have the part and the whole, the part and the whole. So I'm going to do 20 over x equals Not 3 over 9, 3 over...
3. 3 over 20.
3 over 8.
X over 3.
Nope. All right, let me show you what we did. We did this part over this whole thing.
X over 20.
So I need to do this part over this whole thing. 3 over 12. Very good. So once again, if you're stuck, we worked along the side SP first. We did part over whole, so we need to do part over the whole. All right? Now you can cross multiply. So 12x equals what? 12x equals 60. Good. So what's x going to equal? 5. Okay, so you can start on either one. It doesn't really matter. I'll start with the variable. So the part is y. The whole thing is 36. That's going to equal, what did we say?
24.
We want the part on top.
10 over 24.
10 over 24. Good. Yes, I think you guys were a step ahead of me.
Yes.
All right, when we cross multiply, we have 24y equals what? 360.
I'm tripping, my bad. You got to cross my phone.
Yeah. What's 360 divided by 24?
12.
8.
15 is correct.
What was I trying to say?
So this information is sort of like part 2, second half of this set of notes. This said, the segment connecting the midpoints of two sides of a triangle is parallel to the third side and half its length. So before, the two segments just had to be parallel. It didn't really matter how far away they were. Here, we're putting the parallel line exactly halfway on each side, okay? So it's cutting this segment in half, it's cutting this segment in half, and it also ends up being half the size of this segment, all right? So if you wanted to write an equation, it would be the length of DE equals half the length of AD. So you already had this part, right? Okay, so you just need to add this part. You should also add that that's the midpoint. I don't think these tick marks were on your diagram, so add those as well. All right, so number 5, I want to find x. So what I have is a segment connecting the midpoint of this side and the midpoint of this side. So I know that this segment, QS, is parallel to PT, and it's also what?
I dropped PT cruiser.
It's half the length. So what's half the length?
10. 5.
Yeah. Half of 10 is 5. If you want to write an equation like the one you put up in the box.
So you don't have to work full
Half
problem
5 is
if you don't have to.
2.5.
No, I think it's easier to do it in your head. I think writing the equation makes it more complicated. Shh. Now, what if on the next one I give you the smaller segment? How would you find the bigger one?
Multiply by 2.
Multiply by 2. So yeah, just be prepared to go in both directions on this.
Yes, sir.
Any questions? All right, just like this one. So I have a triangle. I'm connecting the midpoints of two of the sides. The length of that segment that's connecting the midpoints is 17.
Sir.
So how long is that third side?
8.5? No.
Other way.
34.
34. Good. Just multiply by 2. Questions?
No.
All right.
It's Reggie, baby.
Number 7. What? How'd you get 14?
She's a mathematicianist.
That was real quick.
Because 28 divided by 2 is
Yeah, so you can see 11 and 11. So this is the midpoint. 16 and 16. This is the midpoint. The midpoints are connected. So these two lines are going to end up being parallel, and this one's half as long as this one. Half as long means divide by 2. So you are absolutely correct. X is 14. What are your questions?
Do you wanna build a snowman?
No, but thank you.
It doesn't have to be the snowman.
All right, last one.
Ooh, I get it now.
So, if it was asking us for BC, or if there was an X right here,
Okay.
what would it be?
10.
10. Is that what they're asking us, though?
No.
Oh.
No, they're asking us for the
Perimeter.
perimeter. So we're just going to have to add all the segments. So the 3 and the 3 would give us this length.
No,
The 4 and the
19.
4 would give us this one. And then the 10.
19.
It's 24.
So 6 is one this side.
6.
8 is this side.
I'm tripping.
10 is this side. What did you end up? What's
I added
the
the 5. That's what it was.
No, don't add the 5. It's not part of the perimeter. I see
That's
what you
why I
did.
added them.
So what'd you end up with?
24.
24 is correct. Whoops. Let me give you a second on that. Okay, that's the end of today's lesson.
Dang, why was it so short?
It's just a quick lesson.
No more notes.
An easy one. We also didn't go over last night's homework, so we're a little bit ahead of schedule, but we'll make that up tomorrow.
I'm gonna take that
But
test.
quiet down, guys. Before homework, I just want to make sure we're all on the same page. So tonight, you are doing worksheet number 6. I'm about to turn it into you, pass it out to you. Okay? Not a lot of you did last night's homework.
Do it.
So you could also do last night's homework. I will open the floor back up for that one. So tomorrow I'll check 5 and 6. We'll go over 5 and 6. We will review for the test tomorrow. Friday you are taking the test. Monday when I had a sub, you guys started this exam review. If you did not finish that, that's your assignment over the weekend and after the test. So bring it on Friday. Work on it. I'll give you a little bit of time Monday as well. But most of the time Monday, I want to give you the answers and go over questions you have. So make sure you've at least looked at the whole packet by Monday. Okay? Tuesday, I will give you a second exam review packet. Wednesday, we will go over that second packet. Next Thursday, I don't see you at all. And then next Friday, this is the last final. Okay? It starts at 12:10.
So after that, we on break.
If you get done with the final early, you don't get to leave. So just bring a book, make sure your phone's charged. I don't care, but you're going to be in here and you're going to be absolutely quiet the entire final exam
Can we
time.
bring some food?